Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are all doing well out there during this shelter in place. I'm kind of curious what you guys are doing to pass the time in these weird times that we're living in. Are you guys catching up on the latest comic books, or are you guys just binging your shows that you've been missing out on? What are you doing out there right now? I'm kind of curious, and I'm always looking for some suggestions for some reading or for some new shows, so let me know in the comments down below. But in this video, we're going to get into a big topic that has been being really talked about throughout the week on the internet, and has to do with The Rock and what he had to say about his future as the Black Adam character, as well as potentially going up against the Man of Steel, Superman, and also what Amy Adams had to say. And of course, Amy Adams is our DCEU Lois Lane. So that is a big thing right there. There's some conflicting ways I've seen it being reported, and we're going to get into what I think here. But before we get into that, we have a few cool new topics to talk about, and we're going to get into that here. So this first one has to do with the Justice League Mortal movie. Of course, it's a scrapped movie that was supposed to be directed by Mad Max director George Miller. And over the years, we've been seeing some leaked images from this movie. The most notable one is the whole group shot of what the cast was supposed to look like and the costumes were supposed to look like. But apparently, there is a documentary being done on this scrapped Warner Brothers movie from Ryan Unicomb. Sorry if I said that name wrong. But he just revealed, I guess it says here, since the world is on lockdown and I feel like we need an injection of some cool shit into the community, here's one of Armie Hammer's cows from Justice League Mortal. Be good and be safe, y'all. So, and what's cool about that, he says it's one of his cows. So I'm assuming that we would have got different costumes in the movie. And as you can see here, he has the long pointed ears, definitely a kind of a menacing grin look to the cowl. For me personally, I think my favorite one so far is the Ben Affleck cowl, especially with the short ears, and just the whole look of the suit was awesome. But I think this looks awesome as well. We also got a look at the Batcave here, and he drops one from the Batcave, Army's Batcave. Now I gotta say, this concept art of Armie Hammer's Batcave looks like the coolest Batcave we've seen so far, and I know we have not yet seen Robert Pattinson's Batcave, but if it's anything like what this probably looks like, man, are we in for something. So let me know what you guys think about this. I know it's just something that we're never going to see, but it's always interesting to see what could have been. And most intriguing to me is this Batcave. Super cool. Let's move on to the next little news topic. So Isa Gonzalez talks about the heartbreak of losing the Catwoman role in the Batman. I'm not going to read her full quote, but what I will talk about is the fact that she was definitely in the running for the Batman. We got a bunch of rumors leading up to this whole Catwoman casting, and I thought Isa Gonzalez was one of my favorite picks for the role of Catwoman. If you guys remember, and if you guys have been following us, I'm on here on Heroic Hollywood, and here's a full quote from her. She just talks about how she never thought she'd be in the industry that she is living in, and while she is really disappointed because she really dove into the character, it felt like a relationship that was fleeting, that never got a conclusion or resolved. So that was kind of what she said in a nutshell, but I always thought she was great, not only looks-wise, and she could have definitely played a great-looking Catwoman, but she was also great in movies like Baby Driver, which I just rewatched yesterday, trying to pass time, and again, she's awesome, and that movie's awesome. So if you guys have some time, it's on HBO right now, so you can check that out. Moving on to the next thing, Michael Shannon addresses if he'd return as Zod in DC's Supergirl movie. Now, if you guys know me, I think Man of Steel is the greatest superhero movie of all time. And I know that my list is always fluctuating, but right now, I can tell you that it's still number one for me. And Michael Shannon was a great villain for that movie. And basically, he did an interview with the Gold Coast Bulletin about returning as Zod. And here's what he had to say, and it's really cool. So he said, "Wow, that's interesting," Shannon said. "I swear to God, I'm not kidding. You are breaking this news to me. I will have to look into that. Zod again? I don't know. It's been a while. I'm a little older and creakier now. I'm not sure I could do all the movies or all the moves." Then he goes on to say, "Also, I have to say in complete and utter seriousness that I just loved working with Zack Snyder, and that was a big part of it for me. I don't know who's making the Supergirl movie, but I really treasure that experience with Zack. He's a hell of a guy. So that's what he had to say about returning as General Zod. Obviously, he is a lot older now, but technology has gotten a lot better to the point where they could definitely, do some de-aging technology to have him return as Zod. And again, this whole Supergirl, movie has never officially been announced, as far as I can remember. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. But there's obviously a lot of rumors that the Supergirl is the direction that the DCEU is going in. And would I like to see General Zod back? Hell yes, I would, because Michael Shannon was so awesome in that role. And it's kind of a shame, they killed him off, because I would love to have seen him again. And I know that was a big controversy in the Man of Steel movie, but I was so happy how his arc ended. But I would definitely love to see him again. And I just love how he shouted out Zack Snyder without even being asked, because Zack Snyder is definitely an underrated director in my opinion, and I would love to see him back in the DCEU. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag release Zack Snyder's Justice League. So definitely thought that was cool. But let's move on to the whole Superman topic. That's the big topic for this video. I've seen this reported in different ways, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. So Amy Adams says that DC is moving in a different direction. Now, there's different news articles reporting this, but I'm on Cosmic Book News right here. So Amy Adams says she heard Warner Brothers that is moving in a different direction with Superman, though if given a chance, she would like to stay on as Lois Lane. So she was talking to Empire Magazine, and I guess this was a quote from social media. Okay, so here it is. Amy Adams would totally be open to reprising a role as Lois Lane in a future DC movie, but isn't holding out hope. I think the studio is moving in a different direction from my understanding. So that's just a quick little quote from Empire Magazine. Definitely check out Empire Magazine's full article if you want to see her full interview. But that seems to really put the nail in the coffin in terms of us expecting Henry Cavill back as the Man of Steel, which a lot of us want. A lot of us fans want that because we feel that, one, he's a great Superman, and two, he didn't really get a great shot at completing the arc that was set out in Man of Steel. And Justice League was a total mess, and Henry Cavill even acknowledges that. But all of us would still like to see him back in the Cape. And while his manager has said the Cape is still in the closet, there's things like this that totally get us to question that whole situation right there. But then again, we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who just recently went on to social media on his Instagram Live and talked about his role as Black Adam and potentially going up against Superman down the line. Now, here's why there is some conflicting ideas and views on this whole situation. I'll let you go ahead and watch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talk in length about Black Adam and Superman, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards. So check this out.
And, one of the things that I really loved about the character of Black Adam is that he was blessed by the wizards, by the gods, for powers, and his powers equal that of Superman, which automatically, makes him intriguing to me. But he was also bestowed a equalizing power, and that equalizing power is magic, which is certainly Superman's weakness. And I'm not setting up a showdown between Black Adam and Superman, maybe down the road. But right now, I'm just giving you guys context, for those of you who don't know, on how powerful Black Adam is. And one of the most interesting things about Black Adam to me is the fact that when you compare him to Superman, Superman believes in truth and justice. And everyone gets their due process, even the bad guys who've done a lot of damage and harm to the world. And Superman believes in bringing them to justice, and then if justice is served properly, the bad guys go to jail. In the case of Black Adam, who is a supervillain, who then became a anti-hero. By the way, our first version of Black Adam is going to be his origin stories. So we're going to understand where he came from as he made his way to becoming Black Adam. But the difference is, with Black Adam, if you wrong Black Adam and if you wrong his family, if you harm his family, or if you harm his people, then he's not going to send you to jail. He's going to rip you in half. Literally. Bang! He's going to rip you in half.
Okay, there you go. There's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, not only talking about how long he's been working on this Black Adam project, but also that the whole, you can see how much he talked about Superman in there as well. And of course, they are managed by the same person, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's ex-wife. And they had that famous picture together talking about, going up against each other in the movie. And he talked a lot about Superman in that video. And in that video, he also says maybe down the line, we're going to have Black Adam go up against Superman. And that's something all of us fans definitely want to see. And that was interpreted by the fandom in a way that had them thinking that there's still hope to have this potential fight in a future DCEU movie. Now, what do I think about this whole situation? I gotta say, I think what Amy Adams heard is definitely true, because that's what all of us heard. DCEU is moving in a different direction. But I also think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a lot of sway in the industry, and if he continues to make movies that continue to be successful, I think he's going to continue to have that sway. And especially if this Black Adam movie is as good as we hope it is, he's definitely going to have some say in whether or not we get Henry Cavill back. So I think the key to get Henry Cavill back is The Rock being successful with this whole Black Adam movie, and the fans just really continuing to speak out on their desire to see Henry Cavill back in the situation. So my conclusion is that both of them are true. I don't think there's a nail in a coffin just yet, though I think as of right now, like the studio had mentioned in a previous comment, there is no current plans. So unfortunately, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think and how you interpreted these two different people's view on the situation. I'd really like to know. Let me know in the comments down below. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like the video. It really helps the channel. And stay safe out there, guys. Peace.